Hi everyone, welcome to Veronika Hut. Today I will show you how you can do lovely house shoes. So for this project you will need 150 grams of hat nut XL and it's 55 meters long per spool and it's out of 50% virgin wool and 50% acrylic. So 3 spools for the base color. If you like, you can change the top edge to a new color. You won't need much of that for it. And one 5mm needle is what I used. So this type of wool is actually meant for 7 to 8mm needles, but I do want the shoes to be a bit tighter. So that's why I used somewhat smaller or thinner needle so that the shoe stays on the foot when you wear it. So apart from that, we will need scissors and a darning needle, and we can get started. We will begin with some chains. And do 7 chains. Then we will do an additional chain for the height. We will lightly move the chains to the front like this and go into the side loop where we will do 1 single crochet. That was the 7th chain. We are doing the same with the rest of the chains. Three more. Last one. So now I have 7 singles and I will do an additional chain for the height and turn. And do into each stitch 1 more single crochet. So again, 7 singles. Turn with a chain, and the 3rd row is again the same, 7 singles. And I will continue in the same manner till I have 12 rows of singles. Don't forget to turn your work with chain and then just do 7 singles. And then you need a total of 12 rows. I can count easily, so this is my first row that you see here. Here the 2nd, and the following 3rd, and each next row is really easy to spot. So I have 12 rows now. You can count it easily because you see how every 2nd row kind of builds the structure. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12. So let's continue. I'll do the 3 edges or sides. So this will be the heel section later. Let's start by doing a chain, and this time we are not turning our piece to the other side. Now the first row I'll do with just 1 single. The 2nd and 3rd row I'll do together, which means I'll go into the 2nd take the thread through, then go into the third and take the thread through, and then do them together into one stitch. Then fourth row gets a single, and we are again doing the fifth and sixth together. Again, go in and take the thread through both and do as one. Seventh gets one single, and then again row 8 and 9 we do together. Tenth, 11th and 12th row get one single crochet each. Now I'm here on the bottom edge, and the first stitch I'll do with 2 singles. The next 5 I'll do with 1 single each. Here 5, and the last stitch again gets 2 singles. Now comes the side, so the first, second and third row get 1 single each. Rows 4 and 5 go together just like before. Row 6 gets 1 stitch, and 7 and 8 go together. Nine gets 1 single, and 10 and 11 go together, and the 12th and last one gets 1 single crochet. We do an additional chain and turn, and then around these 3 sides we just did, so these 3 with singles per each existing stitch. So I will be counting the stitches, so this is 1, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, and now let's turn with a chain. And now we will lessen by 1 stitch on each side. So the first stitch gets 1 single, and the second and third we will do together as 1. And then I'm doing 21 singles. That's 7, 14 here. And 21 is our last one. The next two we will do together, and then we just have one last single into the last stitch. Then again, turn with a chain. We had 27 stitches, and since we lessened by 2 in the row we just did, we should have 25. Ten. 15. 20. 25, and again turn with a chain. And now we will lessen by 2 or 1 on each side. So start with a single and then do the next 2 stitches together, and then you have 19 singles till you reach the other side. Ten. 15. 19, there we go. The next 2 go together, and the very last stitch gets just 1 single. Turn with a chain, and we should be having 23 stitches in this row. Five. 10. 15. 20. 23. There we go. So this part is done. Again, do a chain and turn. Now we have kind of our heel shape. So let's count the rows that we have now after this step. So we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 rows like this. Now I'll do 2 more rows over 23 stitches so that I have 8 rows total. And now I have a total of 8 rows, which you can nicely see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And I'll turn with a chain again, and I'll do 2 singles into the first stitch. and then I'll do the singles, those 21 stitches, again with just one single per each already existing one. And then I'll again do 2 singles into one, so we are doing additions now. And into the last one, 2 mentioned singles, turn with a chain and do the 25 stitches we have here. So with the additions, I'll just do them again with 1 single. Then 15, 20, 25. Turn with a chain and then again start with 2 singles. And continue with 23 singles to the other side. Where we will again do the doubled singles into the last stitch. So after the first row with the additions, I did another without any additions. The third row that I'm doing now is again with additions. So here again, go 2 singles, and the 4th row I will also do with an addition. So the first stitch gets 2 singles, and then you just go to the other side. And here into the last stitch, go 2 singles. Then comes the 5th row in this section. Here also goes an addition, 1 and 2. And then continue with just 1 per each stitch. Ten, 20, 25, 30, so here we do 2. And this section is now done, so this is what we have where you put it on. And now I'll do 1 chain. And then I'll work in rounds by connecting to the other side. So I'm again doing singles, but before I do that, I will mark with a contrasting color so that I always know where I started my round. So the first stitch of my round is before the contrasting thread, and now I'll just go around in singles, and I'm pretty much doing spirals. So, I won't be changing my direction or turning the work or anything, just the spirals. So you see how easy it is to make the shoe shape this way. After a while, you should get pretty fast at doing this, so it shouldn't take too long. So the first spiral is almost done. Now I'll do the chain I did to connect. So that way I now have 32 stitches in one round, and then I'm finishing the round and moving the contrasting thread to the new row. So we are again doing 32 singles. And you see how we're simply continuing, and that's what I meant when I said spirals instead of rows. $16, so half is here. $24, $31 and $32. Now I'll move the thread and I'll do 2 more spirals or rounds like this. So the same way I just did, we did 2 spirals and I'll do 2 more. So stay tuned for part 2.